producing this show? I was in the middle of saying something and you cut me off, bro. Who's producing this show? This is Vic Venom. And listen, man, yeah, bro, I know the same old tune. Vic is old. Vic is bitter. Vic hates everything and everybody because they won't give Vic a job in professional wrestling. You know what? I've got one simple question for you. Name one positive thing on that 3-hour poop fest that we all just watched. Give me one positive. If you guys were looking at the crowd at the end of that show, looking at the shots of the live crowd, bro, those poor people wanted to take their own lives. They didn't even know why they were sitting there. They were deader than Kelsey's nuts, whatever that means. You want me to be positive? Well, give me something to be positive about.
Wow.
Chris, how you doing? What's going on?
How are you, Vince? Vic is throwing he's taking no prisoners tonight, man. Wow, he's pretty serious.
You know, bro, I gotta tell people, I gotta tell you, guys, if you can, somebody else has to give you the timing. Ask Jeff Lane to give you the timing. Maybe Dr. Chris can give you the time. Okay, let me get in the middle here before Raju gets upset. Guys, it's this simple. When Ed Ferrara and myself went to WCW, and I believe our first show, was towards the end of October. But I will tell you this. You will be able to tell immediately the week before, which wasn't a Russo Ferrara production, and the very first Russo Ferrara production. You will be able to tell immediately that it was a different show. Immediately, bro. It was sometime in October of 99. You watch the show the week before, then watch Russo and Ferrara's show, and you will tell immediately there's a change. Listen, guys, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm taking this more out on the fan base marks than I am Triple H. Because if you guys are really going to sit there and say there is a change since Triple H took over as creator, what's the change, bro? What am I missing? What is the freaking change? Those people in the crowd, when you look at those people in the crowd for that last match, bro, literally they wanted to kill themselves. That was the last place in the world they wanted to be. I want you guys to tell me how Triple H has put his fingerprints on this show that all of a sudden this is a great, fantastic show. You know what I took from this show, bro? I summed it up here somewhere in one line, somewhere on my notes. But Chris, they don't care about the television show. They could care less about this being a TV show. This entire show from beginning to end is for the house. There is no reason to watch this on TV, bro. So when you guys carrying on about Vince is put out to pasture and Triple H, what is he doing with this show, Chris? What is he doing with it? I could not wait for this show to end.
I looked at the show and I said, this show is spectators from television watching a bunch of marks having fun at a show. I mean, that's basically what it felt like. It didn't feel like they were trying to bring in the viewer. It was like the viewer just watching some show of people having fun at a wrestling show. Like, bro, that's what I got from it.
Chris, I remember back in the day when cable TV first started. I grew up in Long Island, New York, and every month, once a month, it was Monday night. they would have the Madison Square Garden show live on Cablevision every Monday night, not every Monday night, once a month. And it was bell to bell. It was a wrestling show. That's what this is here, bro. Look, look at the bottom there. Everything for house, nothing for TV. Yeah. Every single thing on this show is for the house, bro. Yeah. So please tell me what is the dramatic change we're seeing other than NXT people appearing on this show?
Yeah, I mean that's what I got from this, man. I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I'm still going to give it some time. It's still fresh. It's still new. But at this point, and I'm still going to give it some time. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm thinking in my head, man, at least give me some developments. When like we'll get to the whole Dexter Loomis, Sam Shaw segment, but Washington D.C. is pretty decent crowd. Every time they go there, and I was thinking in my head, like people just weren't buying. They just weren't into that. It was crickets. I mean, people didn't know if it was like some type of dude that was really jumping all over the barricade, or some people knew it was Sam Shaw or Dexter Loomis, and then they tried to bring it. I mean, they tried to sell it on the commentary, and it was just like it was really, really difficult.
They don't know how to do anything real. Bro, I'll tell you right off the bat. Let's get into the show. Bro, how long has freaking Triple H been there? How long has Triple H been on the television show? How long has Triple H produced the television show? How long has Triple H been involved in creating the television show? Decades. Freaking decades. I worked with Triple H in the early to mid 90s. That's how long Triple H has been there. So right off the bat, Chris, this is what true writers would never let happen. Yeah. How long has Rey Mysterio been in the business?
Ooh.
How long?
Altogether about 2002, almost 30 years.
Would you say for those 30 years of Rey Mysterio was beloved pretty much?
Oh yeah, he's been a consistent babyface for almost the whole time.
Obviously not, bro. He doesn't have a friend in the locker room.
Obviously
not. But bro, wait a minute. But wait, it's not just that. So they're kicking the snot out of Rey Mysterio, getting heat on Rey Mysterio. The dude's been around for 30 years, the nicest guy in the world. I have the pleasure of knowing him and working
almost
with
33 years.
33 years, but yet he doesn't have a friend in the locker room. Not only doesn't he have a friend, bro, not one official, not one referee, nobody comes to help Rey. But bro, 5 minutes later, when 6 girls square off, every referee, everyone from management is in between the middle. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Writers don't allow that to happen. They don't allow that to happen because you know why? I'm sitting there with Ed, and there's no way in the world nobody would come to a guy's aid who's been a babyface and a staple at the WWE for some 30 years. There is absolutely no way in the world. Bro, that's what I mean. Writers can't write wrestling. And here's the problem, Chris. Casual fans see that, and they're saying exactly what I'm saying. I guess Rey Mysterio has no friends. You can't do that, bro. You can't do that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, man. I was like, okay, so no one's going to come out and like he just had a celebration, just a few weeks ago.
Thank you.
People were just loving on him.
Thank you.
Now he has no friends, because there's no continuity. People get mad when I say that. I'm gonna say it again. Right. There's no continuity here because there's Rey Mysterio, beloved, big celebration, and then now nothing. Crickets. Right. Just makes no sense.
Then, bro, you go to Asuka and Alexa against Nikki, ASA, and Doudrop.
Mhm.
Oh, it's not too obvious who's going over in this match. So there's no reason in the world. They've done nothing but bury Nikki Ash and dude, I forget. So you know who's going over.
Yeah.
Then the babies go to the top, and here comes Bailey and the Sky Sisters. And now all of a sudden, here are all the referees and officials. Now here they, where were they when Ray was getting killed 5 minutes ago?
They
That's
were backstage tending to Rey Mysterio.
Chris, people have to understand this is how you lose respect of the casuals.
Yeah.
This is how you do it. Because, bro, the marks, the people that will watch this show as long as wrestling is on the marquee, they will accept anything. They will accept and take everything. But a casual fan is sitting there saying, wait a minute. Where were you guys when Ray... That's what I mean, bro.
Yeah.
When you don't know how to write a television show, this is what you get.
And it's clear because, like I said, I mean, I've said this before, and you just mentioned it. The marks, if it says wrestling on the marquee, if it says wrestling on the headlines, they're going to buy a ticket. So no matter what you bring, and they're going to buy the ticket. But that's not who you're catering to. That's not who you're writing for. You're writing for the fans out on the television screen to pull them back in. And it felt like I was watching as a fan of the business, and I wouldn't really call myself a hardcore fan anymore. I'm not a casual, but I'm not a hardcore fan anymore. And so I'm like in the middle, and I'm just sitting there like, man, I don't feel included in this show because you're not intriguing me. I'm just looking at a bunch of people having a good time in a live event. And that's the feel that I got. And I hope Triple H isn't booking or writing that way, because I'm starting to see some consistency of that, though, of like just the fans watching a bunch of people enjoying the show. And I'm like, nah, I'm not a fan of that.
Bro, listen, you got Tony Khan South. Triple H is Tony Khan East. That's exactly who he is. Bro, they're writing for the freaking marks. Nothing has changed here. Bro, here's another thing. Again, because I can tell you a little something about television writing, Sportskeeda Nation. Then we get Ziggler and Theory get into a fight in the back. They hit the camera. We immediately go to commercial. How does that happen? Like, they don't even know how to do that right. Bro, if a cameraman gets hit, the camera goes down, we hear the fight, we don't see the fight, and then we abruptly go to commercial, but not instantly. You've got to let that develop to seem like it's real, bro. You don't go, they hit the camera, we immediately go to commercial.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Purple Bond with the $10 super chat, bro. Purple Bond's pretty hot at you. Vince is called wrestling. Triple H changed the narrative of sports entertainment where hardcores or what you call marks are talking about Raw in a long time, bro. Admit you don't like marks.
What? Wait, I don't understand what he's saying, Chris. Explain this to me, because I do not understand what he's saying at all.
I think he meant to say it's called wrestling.
Okay.
Triple H changed the narrative of sports entertainment where hardcores or what you call marks, Vince, are now talking about Raw.
No, bro. The hardcores and the marks are always talking about Raw. They're not just talking about Raw now. They are constantly 24/7 talking about Raw, because that's what they do, bro. That's what hardcore marks do. They talk about wrestling. So what are you trying to say, Purple Bond? And thank you for the $10, by the way. Are you trying to say the marks weren't talking about wrestling till Triple H came over? Okay, bro, if that's the case, Purple Bond, then you tell me what is Triple H doing different?
Yeah.
That's simple. You tell me, what is he doing different? Bro, you got Rollins and whoever it was, I already forgot, Riddle fighting in the crowd. Bro, that's all for the house. It is all for the house. You tell me what Triple H is doing different than what Vince McMahon was doing. Tell me. Make me understand, bro. Brighten my eyes. Let me see the light.
They brought back the term wrestler. According to promos, Drew McIntyre said wrestler. And we'll get to that in a minute. As far as someone said more wrestling than talking. I mean, even if there's a bunch of wrestling to me, I just Vince, I don't care a bunch of people doing wrestling matches. I don't
Especially
care
for 20 minutes, bro. Nobody cares, Chris, but the marks. But the marks.
I just a bunch of wrestling matches doesn't do anything for me. It just, I mean, it's boring. If there's no buy-in or no storyline or something, give me a reason. Give me a why behind the what. Give me a reason why these two people are wrestling instead of just seeing wrestling match of the wrestling match.
And what did Triple H do, bro? He's dressing Ciampa like the Miz now. Yep. So they can look like the freaking Bopsy twins. Bro, do you really freaking think that a guy like Ciampa would dress like this? Like, no. Seriously, bro? No. Is that the great creative that Triple H is doing, telling these guys to get the same outfit to look like the Bopsy twins? Yeah. You think that guy would dress in neon colors? Yeah. Give me a freaking break, bro. Now he's dead. Ciampa's dead now.
Why do you think Triple H is booking all these chaotic breakout fights? Like, what is he like? What is it about the breakout fights that he has a fetish about?
Okay, I'll tell you real simple.
Okay.
It's a 4-letter word, Chris.
Okay.
It starts with an E. It ends in a Y. What do you think that is? Starts with an E, ends in a Y.
Envy.
Easy, bro, because it's easy, Chris. It's easy. It eats time and it's easy. Fight in the back, fight in the crowd, fight in the ring. It's easy. It prevents you from having to create stories between people. All you got to do is fight in different locations, bro. It's easy.
Yeah, but these breakout segments are getting really old really fast, though. I don't understand.
Not according to the last guy we just had who paid $10.
Yeah, you paid $10.
Wait till Monday Night Football starts.
Oh,
wait till Monday Night Football starts, bro. The party's over. It is over. Triple H's party is over. There were a million times during this show where the audience watching at home would have turned over to a football game. A million times, bro. A million times.
People are saying that it's a way better product with Triple H at the helm.
Explain that. All I'm saying is tell me why. all I am seeing is longer matches. There's still no stories there. Okay, Chris, let me ask you a simple question. These Sky Sisters, okay, name one thing about them. What have I learned about either one of these people? If I'm a casual viewer, this is now, I think, the second week I'm seeing them, or the third. I don't know. Okay, whatever. Name one thing that I know about them. What do I know about either one of these two individuals?
According to, I mean, they came at SummerSlam. That was the 30th. So they've been there for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. This is their second Raw. What do I know in 2 weeks?
That they are on a mission to take over the women's division.
That's it, bro. Ding, 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 ding. Win a chicken dinner, bro. Come on, man. That's not writing, guys. Will you stop with the love for Triple H? Come on, man. Yeah. That is not writing, bro. He's doing the same thing Vince was doing. He's just injecting new blood, new people into the product. That's all. That's the only difference you're seeing here.
And I really, really try to. I'm still giving Triple H a chance. All right. I'm trying to hold on as far as, giving him, I said, I'll give him to the rest of the year. I'll try, to give him to the rest of the year with this. But it just feels like a lot of the fans had such a bitter relationship with Vince McMahon. There's a breakup and there's someone who comes in who is better than Vince but still not very good. And so they just because it's better than Vince, they kind of deceive themselves to believe that it's good, but it's not. I mean, I'm sorry, I just don't see it. We get paid to just watch this and be honest here. And I'm going to be honest, as someone who's been watching wrestling for 37 years, 36, 37 years, it feels like a honeymoon stage with someone new. Well, I mean, and that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. I'm gonna give them to the end of the year, and then we'll see. I want to be. I want to be like. I don't want to be super critical, but I'm just going to be honest. As far as just the weekly content, I'm still going to be honest, and I just wasn't feeling it, man.
Chris,
Not feeling it.
With all due respect, when you've lived in a wrestling bubble for 30 years, 3 months is not going to make a difference. Triple H is a product of the wrestling bubble. From the time he was training with Killer Kowalski to Thunder Rising, Terror Rising, I remember watching on WCW, to Triple H, the Greenwich, Pure Blood, whatever. He's been in the bubble for 30 years. Why do you think I keep saying over and over and over and over, they need a consultant on this show who is on the outside and who is watching this as a television program and can sit here and say, you lost me here because of this. You lost me here because of this. You lost me here because of this. That's what they badly, badly, badly need.
So we did that a while ago, about a year and a half ago or so. We had our focus group. I think we might need to bring back the focus group, and they let us know, and they let WWE know what are some issues that they need to deal with segment by segment. And because at the end of the day, I don't know, man. It just feels like Triple H, like you said, it feels like he's a part of the bubble. I don't see any like storylines. I don't see storyline development. I see someone who's been under the leadership of Vince McMahon. Now, what I see a difference in Triple H, he's an old school wrestling fan. He likes to watch tape. So I can see, okay, I want to push this guy. That's what I kind of feel with Triple H. It's like, okay, well, I felt some type of way because Vince let this guy go or didn't see potential in that guy. I'm gonna bring that guy back because I liked him better. And so now I'm gonna use him. Like that's what I feel with Triple H right
Chris, do you think when we jump to WCW, the first 3 weeks, okay? Bro, let's be honest. Do you think I am booking Miz and Ciampa against Ali and Cedric Alexander? Do you think I'm booking that match? Do you think I'm actually writing that down and that is a match that's going to appear on the show? Do you think that for one freaking second, I am going to put that match on my show? Nobody gives a crap, bro. No, again, bro, who do you think is going over? Ali and Alexander, bro, you might as well put 2 tackle dummies in the ring. These guys mean nothing. Why are you putting this on your television show? Where's the guy with the $10 that I said? Answer these questions, bro.
Well, here comes another super chat, $2. Vince, Chris, and Mitch, you don't see the big picture.
I'll admit that. I don't see the big picture, bro. I 1000% admit I don't see the big picture. I do not see it, Purple Bond.
Thank you, Purple Bond, for paying $2 to express that we don't see the big picture. Clearly I don't see it. I don't. What's the big picture? I mean, let us know what the big picture is, and I see. I'm an open. I have part of the big 5 personality traits. Openness is one of my biggest ones. I'm an open guy. Hey, I have openness. One of my biggest traits. I'm open to hear what the big picture is.
Oh, am I?
Okay, so that's what I want to hear.
I can't wait.
The big picture is.
I cannot wait to hear it.
I'm excited.
Smarten me up, bro.
The big picture is The big picture is what? I mean, I don't know. So Raw becomes a 4 or 5 again? Is that the big picture? Is the big picture everybody gets over, and even Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali are being a very reputable tag team again? I mean, like, what's the big picture, Vince?
I don't
Come
know,
on,
bro.
tell me what the big picture
I'm
is.
telling them, bro. Tell me. I'm telling. Smarten me up. Chris. I'm missing something. We're missing something,
I
bro.
don't know,
There's
man.
something we're missing, bro.
I'm missing it. SK Nation, what is the big picture? Out of all of this, what's the big picture, and what does that look like? How is it going to make it better for people, for the casual fans to come back to the product, to boost it up and get past 2 million viewers, what they struggle immensely every week? I think I got a 1.9 last week, but I mean, people are still into this, Triple H era to see what it does, but I think it'll just taper off again. So yeah,
It will taper off again, and you know what they'll say. You know what they'll say, Chris?
what they'll say.
It's football season.
It's football season.
That'll be the excuse, bro. That's going to be the excuse.
Indeed.
The numbers do not go up under Triple H. That's going to be the excuse. It's okay. I got
it. Yes, indeed. Rolling with the 499 super chat. No. 40 to 60-minute matches was the NWA UWF TV show of the past. Pro wrestling has evolved past the stories. Talking is needed in wrestling today. Tonight was boring.
Rollin knows, bro. Rollin calls it the way he sees it, bro. Come on.
Rollin is definitely one of the best commenters.
Yeah, guys, come on. So what are we missing? What's the big picture,
yes,
bro?
Yes.
What's different on this show, bro? Tell me what's different. Seriously, Sportskeeda Nation.
Yes, please tell me.
What's the difference between Bailey and the Sky Sisters and the Riot Squad? What is the difference? What
the Sky Sisters was born from a botch, so that's basically
what is the difference, guys? Tell me the difference. What is the difference, bro?
I don't see it, man. I don't see it. Purple Bond is back. $2 super chat. Chris, call me. You got I don't have your number actually, so maybe we're Facebook friends if I'm not mistaken. Good guy though. As far as he's a supporter of my show, so he's a cool guy. But I've told this to many people. There's like 3 good friends that I talk to about wrestling, just because we're people who we talk about faith in wrestling in a group chat. And that's the only people I've talked to wrestling about. I don't enjoy talking about pro wrestling anymore. Like, it's just like, I make fun from it, and we do gimmicks like the bouncies and putting over Eva Marie and putting over Veer Mahan and putting over Toots Mon and putting over the Black Scorpion, stuff like that. I pop for. That's fun to me. But as far as just like, hey, did you see what happened on Raw the other day? You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I don't care about, man, how about that catch kid super kick from Dolph Ziggler? Man, he dunked it and turned around and boom.
Chris, you know what the funny thing is? Let me tell you something. Let me explain something to the Sportskeeda Nation. Bro, I noticed they just put a movie up on Peacock that was just in the movie theater, and it's called The Black Phone. Mm-hmm. It's a horror film. So I knew it was just in the movie theater. I haven't seen a horror film in a long time, especially a good one. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to watch this horror film. Mm-hmm. Here's the difference, guys. And again, stop Sports Nation, Keeda Nation. Please hear me out. So, Chris, I watched the movie last night. Okay. Chris, I will tell you this. I did not like the movie. Okay. There were way too many holes in the movie. Mm-hmm. But I will say this, Chris. Here's what we're talking about, you and me. Chris, guess what? It kept my interest. Mm-hmm. I didn't turn it off in the middle of the movie. I'm like, okay, let me see where this goes. I watched the whole movie. When the movie was over, I assessed it. But the key is, It kept my interest.
Yep.
It kept me go. Where is your interest kept in this show? But you can't wait to see Theory and Ziggler? Seriously, bro. How did you keep my interest? And again, bro, how did we keep people's interest in the past? Oh, how many times have you heard Vince say this? Beginning, middle, end, and threaded throughout the whole show. How many times have you heard me say that? That's how you keep people interested. Yep. There was nothing on this show to keep anybody interested. And Monday Night Football is not on yet.
Right. And like I say every single week, did I leave with a cliffhanger? I mean, like I am a one thing that I am a mark for is Ohio State football. I am an Ohio State football mark. And every week the whole college football sport is so intriguing to me because Ohio State wins here and they're ranked number 4. And then now I'm looking at 3-2-1 games to see if they lose so Ohio State can move up. And then I'm looking for the playoffs to make sure that they're in the playoffs. And every single week I'm looking at those things. And it's so fun. It creates intrigue and it makes me want to watch more. I'm not seeing Vince, you tell me, what was the cliffhanger for tonight's Raw?
All right, so you're talking about cliffhangers, right, Chris? I'm going to talk about characters. Okay. I'm going to give you another perfect scenario, Chris. Okay, everything I'm telling you guys is a shoot. Keep in mind, I'm a 61-year-old man. Chris, I love music. The music I love the least is rap music. I do not like rap music at all. So, Chris, I'm on my YouTube and
listening to the West Texas Rednecks, by the way.
Yes. And Post Malone is on the Stern Show.
Okay.
So here's 61-year-old Vince. I don't know anything about Post Malone. I've heard the name. I don't know nothing about it. Let me learn something about Post Malone. This is a true story, bro. So, Chris, I'm watching these short clips of the interview on Stern. They're like 5-minute clips. There were about 4 or 5 of them. As I'm watching these clips, bro, I'm drawn to this character.
Yeah.
Bro, he's got his face all tatted up, but he's yes, sir, no, sir, like the nicest, most polite guy in the world. Then he starts singing like an old Pearl Jam song. And I was like, whoa, Chris, what did I do? I went out and I bought his CD. Okay, guys, Sportskeeda Nation. Who on this show interests me? Austin Theory? Am I going to watch this show and Google Austin Theory tomorrow morning? Tell me one person on this show that Post Maloned me.
Yeah.
Who? Tell me who.
Good way to make that a verb.
This is all a shoot, Chris. This is all shoot. Didn't know who the guy was. Watched him, liked him, nice guy. You know what? Let me hear his music. Yeah. He sold a CD to a 61-year-old man.
There you go.
Who on this show do you want to see next week?
Beats me. I mean, I have, like, for instance, I like Drew. I like Drew McIntyre. We talked about that before. But I mean, at the end of the day, and we'll get to a segment. I couldn't stand the segment. It was horrible. And so I agree with you, man. And the thing is, it's like, in your particular case, like Post Malone, people who are Post Malone fans, they're going to buy anything he releases, right? Before they even, I mean, I'm a DJ. I DJ. Yeah, so, I mean, I DJ in the Christian field. And so, like, when I was listening to like hardcore rap music back in the day, like even before artists would even come out with any song on the CD or maybe one single, I would buy the entire CD because I was bought into the actual artist.
Right.
And that's what hardcore fans are going to do. They're going to buy a ticket regardless. But if it's someone else who doesn't really know their music, who's a big fan is going to tell somebody about their music, then the artist is supposed to keep their interest and buy, and that's how they get sales, because they have product that is exciting enough or riveting enough to
Mhm.
get more people.
Yep.
Now it's like people are embarrassed to tell other people outside of the wrestling bubble about wrestling because it's nothing they're
Unless, I
into.
mean, let's be honest though, Chris, unless you're a child.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
I'm assuming children are talking to each other about this show. I'm
Maybe even
assuming
not that.
I'm assuming the kids are talking about Riddle in cafeteria.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
assuming
know.
that.
I have a almost 10-year-old and a 7-year-old, and they talk about Kofi Kingston. And my 10-year-old just told me today, he said, "What finisher do you like better? The Hulk Hogan one or the Trouble in Paradise?" And so I think it's probably something he was watching on like the main event or something like that as a movie. I think Keith Lee was in it, the Miz was starting it or something like that. So they watched that. And there's some like YouTubers that nowadays kids love to watch people play video games on YouTube. Like that's
Yeah, I know.
weird.
Weird,
That's
bro.
the
I
thing.
know. Real
And so
weird.
they
Yep.
they watch people play video games instead
Yep.
of playing themselves. And so like people watch wrestling or play wrestling video games, and so they're familiar with that. And like I still have my old school Nintendo 64 with like No Mercy on it, and they'll play like the older Attitude Era characters, so they know all those characters. But as far as now, like they don't know too many people because they're not they don't really buy it. My middle one, my youngest son, he's into wrestling just because for wrestling's sake. Like he likes Drew, and he really doesn't like many other people other than the No Mercy game. But it's not they're not really asking me like, "Oh, Dad, can we watch wrestling? Can we watch wrestling?" Because even my 10 and 7-year-old are drawn away from it.
Chris, I can remember 2 years ago, years ago. Um, Rihanna was the hot thing.
Mhm.
And I knew nothing about Rihanna. So I'm like, let me buy a Rihanna CD and try it out. And I remember the first Rihanna CD I bought, like Rated R had just come out.
Mhm.
So
Before you go into Rihanna, quick shout out to on the list of Cliff Burton for the 4.99 super chat. Just didn't no comment. Just
yeah,
wanted to
thank
give
you,
us
Cliff.
love. Thank
But
you,
what I
buddy.
was saying is Rated R had come out.
Mhm,
She was the hot thing. I'm like, let me listen to her.
mhm.
So I listened to her. I became a big fan for the whole package. Okay. Now, how does that relate to wrestling? Well, bro, that's why you became an Undertaker fan. You became a Hogan fan. You
Yeah,
became an NWA fan, a Rock fan. I can go on a John Cena fan. Word of mouth, you check somebody out.
yep.
I'll go as far as Bray Wyatt.
Mhm.
Who's on this show, bro, that you can put in that category? Who?
Yeah.
Who is on this show you could put in a category like that where, oh my God, everybody's talking about this person. I've got to see them. The last person, bro, let's be honest, the last person was probably Bray Wyatt. And
Mm,
I'm talking about the original Bray Wyatt.
mhm.
Who has there been anyone since?
As far as riveting character, no,
And now, how
not
many
gonna lie.
years ago, bro, did Bray Wyatt debut? I'm talking about original. How
Mm,
many years ago? 5
no.
more?
Original Braid debuted in 13,
That's almost 10
13,
years ago,
13,
bro.
14. Yeah,
Who has come along that's been that interesting that you're going to stop and go out of your way to watch this person?
yeah, I think it was SummerSlam of 13 or 14 that he debuted against Kane. Uh yeah, wow. It's yeah. And they debuted in SummerSlam of 13, I believe, for all the yeah.
Bro, that's almost 10 years ago.
Yep.
Seriously, man. Who has come along since then?
Jeez. Oh man, that's horrible. That's almost 10 years ago. So There you go. That's the last time it's been a riveting character, ladies and gentlemen. Um, yeah, so we have what's next? Drew and cousin in-ring promo interrupted by Kevin Owens. You know, I wasn't a big fan of this segment. Just, I mean, again, this was definitely for the house. I mean, this
Yeah,
was absolutely for the house.
absolutely.
For the match's sake, I'll put over the match. The match was was fun to watch to me, or at least it was. It was an interesting match. But I looked at it, and I'm looking at it from someone who's not in the bubble. I'm not a hardcore fan. I'm looking at it from. I'm not a casual fan, but I'm in the middle. Like I said, I'm not a casual. I'm not a hardcore. I'm in the middle, and I was looking at it from a television standpoint. I'm not in the bubble. I'm looking at it from a television productive standpoint. I looked at this, and I'm like, okay, so Kevin Owens is creating a promo that's he's supposed to be the heel because Drew, as far as I understand, Drew's the one who's supposed to get this big feel to him because he's the number one contender for the biggest feel, the bigger Roman Reigns, huge personality above it all the rest. But Drew was still kind of messing around with these people who are still kind of middle of the road or who aren't as strong, and he's having all these like extensive matches with like Sheamus and like Kevin Owens. How does that make him a feel bigger? If Kevin Owens is coming in here cutting this promo that they're watching the crowd's like, yeah, man, we appreciate you doing your hard work. And Drew had a good promo to come back, so I'll give him that. But it was still kind of like bringing Drew down because it didn't make Drew feel bigger after this, especially when Owens gave him the stunner at the end.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
I didn't like that.
you're getting this guy ready for Roman Reigns in his home country, and he's having a 50-50 match with Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Who's been used quite
Yeah,
poorly after Mania.
if you can't beat Kevin Owens in under 10 minutes, how are you going to beat Roman Reigns?
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, like that just doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. Bob M with the 13.99 super chat. Boo! Vinny R. Love the show. Was Brett and Austin at WrestleMania 13 the greatest match you have ever witnessed? It is for me. Can you break down this classic match and the impact it had on the business?
Just brilliant booking, man. Pat Patterson at his best. How you had two characters absolutely flip-flop roles during the course of a wrestling match. You know what? Nobody could do that. Yeah, nobody could do that. When you've got a Brett and an Austin and a Pat Patterson, you'll never see stuff like that again, guys. You'll never see it again.
It was very character.
Yeah, you'll just never see it again. Man.
Yeah, it was really see that's the reason why characters matter, man. Because if it was all this 50-50 stuff and if the characters weren't strong enough, if Bret Hart's character wasn't strong enough, he wouldn't have been able to make Austin the man that he became.
Absolutely, absolutely, bro. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
And if that's the reason why characters matter, man. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. If there was no Vince McMahon, there would be no Steve Austin.
Yep.
As far as how big Steve Austin felt,
yep,
that wouldn't have been a thing if it wasn't for Vince McMahon. So.
Yep.
Next, we have Seth Rollins cutting an in-ring promo interrupted by Riddle on Titantron. He wasn't in his mom's basement. He was in the arena. He runs out, and then they have here comes the breakout fight. Like there's just all these breakout fight segments, man. I don't understand it. What I don't get the fetish. I don't understand it, man.
God, Chris, I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say.
So
Bro, I look at it like I don't know if it's me. I just can't understand how people don't understand this concept. Triple H is a wrestler, okay? And you're telling a wrestler of 30 years, go write a television show.
Yeah.
Bro, that is the equivalent of telling Vince Russo, a writer. That's like telling Vince Russo, a writer, Vince, go have a match with Dolph Ziggler. Guys, it's the same thing. You need to understand that. You need to be qualified as a writer. Being a wrestler does not make you a qualified writer.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why. I can see that if somebody said to me, Vince, go have a match with Dolph Ziggler, I'd be like, what are you, out of your freaking mind? Like, seriously, like, I wouldn't even know where to start. Triple H is a wrestler who can now write a television show.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that, bro. I
Man.
don't understand it. I don't understand. Chris, as much as you love Ohio State football, if somebody said to you, Dr. Chris, a world-renowned psychologist, this Saturday, you're starting at quarterback for Ohio State. Go get him, Chris. That's the equivalent, guys. I'm telling you. I know what goes into writing a show. That's the equivalent. That's why you're getting matches, run-ins. That's all you're getting, bro. Why? Because wrestlers know that.
Yeah.
They know how to put matches together. They know how to brawl in a crowd. They know how to brawl in the back. They know how to do that. Why is this so hard for everybody? Why are you fighting me on this? Why is it so simple for me to understand, Chris?
Yes, indeed. As much as I love Ohio State football, I'll stick with talking people through their problems. Crossing my room.
Why is that so easy for you to accept?
I have no shame saying, and I played football actually, and I wouldn't want to do that whatsoever.
That's like you saying, Vince, listen, Vince, you're gonna see my patients tomorrow. I'm telling you, bro, like that's the freaking equivalent, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Hey, all right. You see my clients, and I'll take the pen and write raw. How about that?
Yeah, there you go, man. Yes. Oh man, I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand. I don't get it, bro.
Doesn't make sense, my man. Veer Mahan defeats Bo Keller.
Would I have booked that on Nitro in 1999? I mean, come on, Chris. Seriously, come on.
I don't get it, Vince. I 6-month promo, 6 months build, and then Spotty off and on. Like, how are you supposed to really put people over with these Spotty pushes? I don't know, bro. Again, Vince, I'm asking you the questions because you're the expert here. You are the writer. How is how is Veer Mahan, after Vince McMahon seeing something from him, somehow Triple H brings this in, and all these Spotty pushes? Oh yeah, he'll be a top contender for Bobby Lashley next week for the U.S. Championship. He'll be world title contender in a few weeks. Please explain to me how these Spotty off and on, hot cold pushes is really going to build a star.
I have no idea, bro. I don't know. I don't know.
What are they doing with them, Vince?
And bro, this is what Triple H is talking about when he's saying, I wish it was a 2-hour show, because that's the only difference, bro. You would take matches like this out.
Yes.
It would be the same show, but you would take matches like this off the show. That's the only difference.
I wish, man, at least I'd be open to see what happens with 2 hours. I don't know, man.
That's what you'd get.
Yeah.
If you're not telling stories in a 3-hour show, why would you tell them in a 2-hour show?
2-hour show.
What does time have to do with not telling stories?
It's just, I agree with you, but it just feels like a stretch.
Oh, I know, bro.
It's 3 hours. Just feels like a stretch, man. And like, you're booking for 3 hours every week, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you talk about oversaturation, Vince. Like, it just feels oversaturated every week, that you're booking 12 hours a month of just Raw content.
Yep.
Like, with the lack of push and the lack of build that these wrestlers have, you're supposed to keep fans involved and locked in for 12 hours a month, and that's just on Raw with their talent. There's no way. It just doesn't make sense to me. And you wonder why the product's dwindling down so much comparatively from 20 years ago, from even Ruthless Aggression. It's because you're having 12 hours of content and stretching it with what
Bro,
we see right now.
at the end of the day, here's the bottom line. They bastardized their product for a paycheck.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's the bottom. So who that's my fault?
Yeah.
That's the audience's fault that Triple H wishes the show was 2 hours. You bastardize your show, bro, to get the income for that extra hour. And you're going to get my sympathy for that? That's greed, bro. That is absolute greed, bro. You've got 2 hours of material, but you decided to stretch it to 3 hours to collect a paycheck. That's greed. And I'm going to feel sorry for you because you can't write a 3-hour show.
No, not me. Not me.
Not me, bro.
It's clear. I mean, every week it's clear you can't make a 3-hour show every week. Am I right to say that is there any other show, episodic television show that's 3 hours a week?
No.
Like other than a sports show, like sports programs for 3 hours, like Ohio State, football games and things like that are 3 hours long, and baseball games can go long.
Yeah.
But like as far as an episodic television show, because they want to make it episodic television, but they also want to make it sports entertainment or sports and entertainment. So is it like a 3-hour sports show with entertainment, or is it episodic television? Like, what are they trying? What do you think Triple H is really trying to do with this product as a whole right now?
Fill 3 hours of television.
Yikes. Yeah, it's how is that going to be?
There's no direction, bro. There's no direction.
There's no big picture, Vince.
Oh, bro.
Show me the big picture, man. Bobby Lashley defeating AJ Styles. Oh, Joey. Very nice. Joey is back in town. Where is he, man? Here. Time out, Joey. Time out, Joey.
Bro, I just got a comment. And again, this is, we don't need writers. We got Bailey and the Sky Sisters.
Yep.
And they got a backstage promo. And Bailey, bro, how long has Bailey been around now?
Ooh.
5 years?
Man, about 16. Like as far as the main roster, about
bro,
16.
The meat of the backstage promo is she's calling the fans idiots. like really, Bailey, like that's the best you've got. You haven't been on TV in 3 years, and you come back and you call the people idiots. Like that's the best thing you have. Bro, I've told this story before.
She came in 16.
Brian Pillman would always get driven on the road when he was in the WWE. And bro, you know why? He was in the passenger seat, bro, and he was reading every book he could get his hands on on serial killers and getting in the head of. That's where Brian Pillman drew his character from. What is Bailey reading? Huey, Dewey, and Louie? Like what research is Bailey doing that I'm just gonna go out there and call everybody idiots? She's listening to I mean, Chris, you're on TV. You've got to be better than that, bro. You've got to be better than that. Kurt Hennig didn't go out there as a heel and refer to people as idiots. You got to be better than that, man. Come on.
It's Cheap Heat. It's Cheap Heat. Cheap Heat isn't a go-to for every heel. Like it's about characters. You know what I mean? Like Nick Bockwinkel was so cocky and arrogant, and he really thought that he was the best champion on the planet. Ric Flair was just, super arrogant. He was with his boys, and they were just better than you, basically. I mean, they were in their limousines and Lear jets and got kissed all the girls and made them cry. And they were better than all these people sitting out here in this studio who y'all want to be like us. You know what I mean? And so that's what it was. DiBiase was richer than everybody, right? I mean, that's basically what it was. Randy Savage was basically a misogynist to Elizabeth, right? And people are like, "Well, how dare you treat that beautiful queen like that? I hate you for that," right? And so there was always something that caused us to buy in to characters back in the day. Rick Rude, what I like to have right now is for all you fat, out of shape, no good warthogs, keep the noise down as I show them what a real sexy man looks like. Hit the music, right? I mean, that's basically what the characters were all about. Now it's, oh, let me take a selfie. What? Why do I care about that? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, before we get to, we're going to get to Austin Theory. Bro, you know what Austin Theory reminds me of? And bro, I'm going to tell you right now, this guy will never be over, ever. I said it way back when. I'm saying it now. You know what I see when I see Austin Theory, bro? It's like they cloned a professional wrestler. This is like a clone of a professional. There's no insights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, bro? There's no feeling. There's no emotion. There's zero connection. It's like we cloned a goat, and now you've got a goat.
Yeah.
That's what he reminds me of. He's like a cloned wrestler.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have any type of connection whatsoever to this individual. None.
He
Zero.
looks like creator wrestler player B, man. I mean,
I swear, bro, that's what it feels like to me. And then you do the selfie at the end, and like that's the gimmick.
That's the gimmick. That's the gimmick. I look at that. And I'm like, okay, the person who is really at the helm, the best representative for your product right now is someone whose gimmick is taking selfies. Like, to me, that's not saying a lot about your product. It's really not. That's like saying the best team in the division is 50-50. Like, that's a bad division. You know what I mean? Like, there's been times in NFL when they've had teams and divisions that don't have really good records, and people look at the division and be like, oh man, they're that division is pretty whack, and they won't go too far in the playoffs, right? They don't look at them to be high in the division. And I think what we see right now in the product, it's like there's so much 50-50, and the leader of the division still doesn't have a strong presence to him. Yeah. And it's sad to see, man. I don't like I said before, he won the briefcase. So right now, the trajectory of WWE is someone like a Theory. And I always try to say something positive about Theory because I've seen him in Evolve, and he did a pretty good job as a character. But he was like a big fish in a small pond when it comes to Evolve. He definitely don't have that big fish in a small pond feel to him now. But I think he's workable, but his gimmick, I mean, he looks like he looks great, right? I mean, as far as physique is concerned, he can be moldable into having a good character, but really, like Vince McMahon said, "Oh man, I want selfies." You know what I mean? Like that, like Vince McMahon, someone who's been in the business for 40 plus years, looks at someone like a Theory and was there with Hogan, Andre, Bruno, Taker, Austin, all of them. And he's looking at Theory and saying, this guy, I want to lead the pack with the selfie gimmick. Like Vince, you've worked with Vince. How in the world do you think from that lineage of wonderful characters did he think about Theory and say,
because
selfie will do it?
Because 90% of those wonderful characters came from other territories and invented themselves. That's why. That's exactly why. Warrior, we can go on and on, bro. Warrior, Savage, Legion of Doom. Taker was an original, but I will say this: Bruce Pritchard had a lot to do with that. Bruce Pritchard had a lot to do with Taker, but
Mhm.
if you go down the line, bro, 90% of them were inherited and came over from other companies.
Yeah. And even with Taker, though, his his aura was so ominous, and he really honed the character. I mean, like, even watching the Taker documentary and the Legends bio, I mean, he really, like, for years he would wear black shades and always dress in black. Like, he was like
Bro,
really invested in the character.
bro,
You've worked with him.
that's what I'm talking about. Like I remember somebody like The Rock.
Mhm.
Bro, again, I'm just thinking of Bailey with the idiot promos. Somebody like The Rock, first of all, bro, every shirt Rock wore when he went out and did a promo, they were $500 shirts.
Mhm.
He wore them once. Every time I would get to TV, bro, the minute he would see me, he would run over to me to tell me all the stuff he came up with during the week. Do
Mhm.
you smell what The Rock is cooking?
Mhm.
Rudy Poo candy. He would tell me, like, like every week it was something else. I didn't come up with any of that.
Mm.
That told me all
Wow.
week long, all week long. What is Bailey thinking all week long? How am I going to call people idiots this
Yeah.
week? Bro, you gotta do better than that, man.
Yeah.
You've got to up your game. That's
Yeah.
why these people were great. I remember Austin bouncing Austin 316 off of me for the first time.
Mm.
I was, oh my God, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Up
Yeah.
your game, bro. You're on national television, bro. The
Yeah.
number one wrestling company in the world.
Yeah.
You've got to do better, man.
I think that's a fantastic point. And like I've said before, I'm not discarding cheap heat for cheap heat's sake. I think that there's a spot for that cheap heat, like a MJF. I mean, to me, he's, other than Reigns, the best heel going in all of professional wrestling. He's the king of cheap heat and making people and basically drawing heat from the crowd and making them feel like crap. And people hate him, and he helps other wrestlers because people hate him. And so, like, if you do cheap heat, at least make it an art. Don't just go for it because you feel desperate when you go and reach out for the cheap heat. It's like, like it feels contrived when you're doing that. Make it your own and make it a thing and make it an art to elicit hatred from the fans. That's what MJF did. That's what Rick Rude did. You know what I mean? He had cheap heat. He made everybody feel inferior and talk, especially the guys. You know what I mean? Like, he made the guys absolutely hate him because he would cater to the guys talking about how they're sweat hogs, right? And it's like that's how he made it look good. The Miz, he would go out. He's good in cheap heat. He makes it an art. Don't feel desperate when you're doing that because it doesn't make your character very strong. We're gonna close up here, but Bob with the 1399 super chat, bro. Vinny, was the Kane Mankind 98 or 99 match where Undertaker pretended to be Kane your idea? Great angle. Was that the same first name as the boss ever determined? Any funny stories of mistaken identity?
Yeah, that was my idea, and I hate to even say that because the minute I say something was my idea, oh no, it wasn't. Yeah, well, it was, unfortunately. Yeah, bro. At the beginning, when I started working at the WWE, people had to call me Russo. They weren't allowed to call me Vince, and I was just like, this is the most
Really?
ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my freaking
Oh, goodness.
people were calling me Russo, bro, like we were in the streets of Brooklyn. Oh my
Hey,
God.
Russo.
Yeah. Bro, let's give Triple H credit for this. I will give Triple H credit for this. I'll blow the freaking trombone, bro. It looks like the 24/7 is officially dead and over, and we will never see this again. So yes, I applaud Triple H for taking that mess out of this show. So that's good right there.
Mhm. Yeah. Good stuff. I also do like that they're having more vignettes to press the prestige up to these mid-card championships. I've noticed that too.
Bro, tell me what happened. I swear I missed the gimmick with what's his face, Sam Shaw. I missed it. I was fast forwarding through the show. I missed
Lashley versus AJ, and then
what happened.
they had Loomis jump over the barricade by the announcer's table, and they had to take him away again. So they put him and it was, I mean, it fell flat. People weren't reacting to that.
Bro, I had to crack up. Listen, bro, I know I'm old, guys. Trust me. I look forward to naps, Chris. I love taking nap. I am old.
Naps. Yeah.
I could not believe, bro. In the main event, bro. Oy vey, but they actually called Dolph Ziggler the Vince Neil of the WWE.
Yes.
And then somebody said, "Oh yeah, well, it's home sweet home." I'm like, are you guys freaking kidding me? Like, seriously, man?
Oh man. Yeah.
Seriously, guys. Like, Vince Neil.
He's a good worker, man. He's a good little hand.
Good little hand, bro.
Yeah. Dakota Kai and Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke, you know, I did pop for the fact that they purposely announced that the 24/7 championship wasn't on the line. Pop for that. I was like, oh, okay. So, I guess that's a nice tip off of who's going to win the match. Oh, the 24/7 championship is not on the line, by the way. You know,
bro. You know what's funny? Who's who with the girls? Tell me who's who. Like, because who's who
with who? Like
the Sky Sisters. Who's who?
So you have Bailey, then you have Dakota Kai, which came from NXT, and then you have Io Shirai, who's now Io Sky.
Which one?
Dakota Kai was botched and called Dakota Sky.
Which one's which? Which one's which?
Dakota's the one with she's basically Io Shirai is a Japanese woman.
Okay, and the other one is who?
Dakota Kai.
Okay, let me just talk about Dakota Kai for a second, because, bro, we have Road Dogg on this show on Thursday.
Yes, indeed.
And I basically was trying to tell Road Dogg, bro, listen, I'm a television viewer at home. I'm watching this show. I don't know who these girls are. They don't look like stars to me. Okay. And Road Dogg, what did he talk about, bro? What great workers they are.
Yeah.
The one girl who had the match tonight, Dakota Sky.
Dakota Kai, but Dakota Sky is fine because Bailey called her Dakota
with
Sky.
With all due respect, that's not a television star, bro. You know what a television star is? Sable is a television star. China is a television. Bro, Sunny is a television star.
Yeah.
This is not a television star. Thus, the problem. I agree with Brian. She's probably the greatest worker in the world. Guess what, bro? The only people that care about that are the people already watching the show.
Correct.
A guy like me watching a television show, this looks like a regular person to me. Yeah. This is not a star. This is the Elizabeth. Elizabeth was a star. You know, a big part of being a star, Chris, is you got to have a presence. There's Cena has a presence. There's a presence there.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
I'm sorry, but I just feel I'm a big television mark. And I feel if you are on TV in any capacity, you've got to have some kind of star presence.
Yes, indeed.
I feel that with maybe 10% in the WWE.
Indeed. We talked about Theory versus Ziggler already. So we'll reach this last super chat before we go. Rollin is in the building still. Dropping the ducats, $9.99. Not much difference between Triple H's Bailey calling the fans idiots while babysitting these two rookies, and McMahon's Edge calling fans idiots while babysitting his two rookies, disappointing Edge and Bailey. Well said. That's it right there. Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't have said it any better than that. I agree with that.
You know
100%.
what, Chris, you and I, we can relate it to sports all day long. You know, bro, if you're a minor leaguer and you get brought up and your first week in the big leagues, you're hitting 200.
Yep.
What do you want to do, bro? You want to get the average up. So what are you doing? You're in that cage every day,
Yep.
bro.
Swinging.
Before the game, after the game, every day. You know, getting feedback from everybody, talking to every day, bro. When you've been on TV as long as people like Bailey, you've got to up your game.
For sure.
Up your game. All the greats upped their game.
Yep. I agree. Well said, Vince. Well, let's close this up, man. That's enough. You let the people know about the brand, my man.
Yeah, guys. Guys, check it out, man. Russo'sBrand.com, channelattitude.com, man.
Yes, indeed. Channel Attitude, home of all the wonderful stars talking about all things pro wrestling. Stevie Richards, Ben Hameen, EC3,
Disco.
Oh man, I'm glad you said disco, man. I was very disappointed in this Raw, but one thing I'm not disappointed is the disco dance, man. Come on, Vince. Come on.
We need something, bro. Hold on, man. We need something, man.
Come on, Vince. Come on. Yes, indeed. Yes. That's it. Yes, indeed.
The good old days. Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. The disco booty shake. Thank you very much. Thank you for the disco booty shake.
Yes.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. This guy here is the best disco dancer on the planet right here, Vince Russo, who just gave us a disco booty shake. That's you can never unlearn that. You can never take that out of your memory. So
never.
You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Chris, and this is the Legion of Raw Solo.